How do you cope with traveling so much, Peter, and sort of trying to peak? Obviously, you travel. I mean, when you travel to China. Next 2 days later, you're in UK. How do you sort of manage to travel?
Yeah, there was some funny stories about this.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's
remember
like
cooking for you when you came to UK, preparing all your food. Do you remember? Yeah, welcome guys back to episode 15 of the Fantom podcast. Join with us as always, Joe Flynn, Jay-Z Bodybuilding.
How's everybody doing?
Seen you for at least 24 hours, Joe.
It's been far too long.
Big Zach, how you doing? Looking very sharp there, new mustache.
Thank you. It's November, isn't it?
November, yeah. And our special guest today is Peter Molnar. Peter, welcome to the Fantom podcast.
Pleasure. Have a good evening, guys.
Yeah. So you're currently in Alicante, am I right?
Yeah.
And you competing this weekend?
Yeah, the main goal is for my girlfriend to get the pro card, and hopefully she get it. That's the most important. You know, it's like for a bodybuilder, it's more stressful to see her to get the pro card than my own show. And in Sunday, it will be mine. So hopefully both of us will be smiling in the evening of Sunday.
Good luck to your girlfriend.
Good luck.
You qualified last week, didn't you? Obviously, you won your pro show last week.
Yes.
So you've already qualified for the Olympia.
It was a big fight. There was 5 call-outs for the top 3.
Okay.
The last call-out was last call-out with Thomas. He was a fantastic athlete. So, you know, his condition was Olympia's, really Olympia time.
So, Peter, at the moment now, you went from classics to 212, yes? And
yeah.
And how much is your weight different from classic to 212 now?
The difference is 4 kilos.
4 kilos, awesome. Yeah,
it's a lot of weight, isn't it? Really,
yeah.
Especially when you're lean already.
So how much more have you got to? You got room to grow into this class?
You know, the main problem is there was no classic while we was bodybuilders. You know,
yeah.
I didn't give any interest about the weight. Because in the amateur there was always like overall, so you had to fight with the big guys. So the weight was not important, and I had the smallest waist. But now these guys use this belt thing for training, so they have the smallest waist I ever seen, and I'm just out of the weight limit. Like while I try to push myself into this 91, below 91, yeah. I lose the legs. I'm gonna be flat, and the skin is not that tight, so I lose the condition, I lose the roundness, everything.
And it's not your best.
And no symmetry.
Yeah. So for this 212 class, you weighed 94. You said yes.
I'm 95, and 96 is the limit of 212.
Oh, you know, when you was an amateur and you competed in the PCA, what was your weight limit there? Well, how much did you weigh the heaviest?
Around 95, 96.
So you got 3 pounds to play with. So you're 209 currently. Is that right?
Around, yeah. Around.
So you've really got 3 pounds to play with, which is not a lot. Yep. So you're nearly at the limit of the 212.
Yeah, I like to see you on the limit because you look better when you're fuller, Peter. You know, your muscles pop more, and you know, I think for you making the classic weight division, you lost that freak factor about yourself, what you had before, and which is a shame because I think with the classic class, Simon, I don't think there should be a weight limit for classic. It should be your physique.
Classic's about the shape, isn't it?
Yeah,
the lines.
The shape. It's the same way. Men's physique, there is no weight limit. So why should there be weight limit with classic either, you know? Because a lot of people are bodybuilders, but they can do a vacuum pose and they think they're classic. And that's not what it's about. It's about the whole physique, the package.
Well, you're getting bodybuilders moving down a weight class to get into the classic, but they're not classic physiques, are they? They're not classic bodybuilders. They're just trying to get down a weight category to win a class. That's what it seems to be to me.
Yeah, like I've seen guys with men's physique. They're bodybuilders, but they just put some shorts on. Men's physique, you know? It's like that. Yeah. So at the moment, Peter, who are you working with? Who's your coach?
Chris Aceto. support me like 2 years ago, or more than 2 years ago. I just wrote a thankful message
on Instagram,
on Instagram, because he's amazing. You know, it's like he was asking me, what is the time when you wake up? I said it's like 7 a.m. So in US it was like 1 a.m. and he turned on the alarm. He was wake up with me and check the weight, the shape and everything. He's like 100% with me. So it was fantastic feeling, you know.
So Peter,
I was guided.
Before you worked with Chris, who did you have coach you? Did you do your own prep before?
A couple of guys from my own country, but you know, we have a different view about the sport. Like,
you've been competing a long time now, haven't you? You've been competing many years. Obviously, you've won a lot of titles. So, what made you go to Chris rather than anyone else, sort of a prep coach?
Because Chris' main goal is to have a long career. He's focusing on do your best. You don't need to be in the top 3 in the Olympia. Try to build a career like 10 years and stay healthy.
Yeah.
And that sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Chris is a very nice guy. I know Chris, and you know what? He has a lot of time for his athletes. But I don't think Chris works with his athletes off season, or does he work with you off season as well?
Not exactly.
No.
We just speak about how things going, but you know, it's like the time is different when you on prep or off season. Like in off season, like 1 time in a week we speak. So I know he's busy. I don't want to disturb him. He give me a direction. He give me a full plan and I do it.
Okay, so is that food plan? You check up with them every once a week. Then you check in with them and say whether your weight's gone up or whatever. And
about the stomach, about the metabolism, about the food, the training. Are you tired or not? You have a good sleep or good rest or something that disturbs it. So it's like regular questions. And
so tell me, Peter, sorry, compared to your diets before, what's so different about Chris's diet and his prep, his methods?
It's like you know, he's looking at the pictures and he can tell you things that I never imagined. You know, like he have eyes for things that
you didn't see before.
If you have something problem that you not recognize in the everyday life, he just see it and he just ask, is that okay? It seems like you have a problem with this or that.
Okay.
So it's like he guide me.
So was there anything what you couldn't see yourself or your past coaches couldn't see what he told you about, for example, anything?
Many things.
Yeah.
Many things. It's the most important thing with him for me is 1 week before the show.
Yes.
This is the key for many bodybuilders make mistakes here.
Yeah.
I was the same. And if you have a good direction, you're not gonna talk yourself out of things, you know, or in things.
Out of the plan.
So you don't need to think. You just need to follow the prep.
Yeah. I think a lot of people last week their head goes and they start talking to people, and there's people who have never competed.
We've all done it.
I'm giving you advice. It's like people, armchair critics. You know, you see yourself, Peter. Somebody will post your picture and they'll say, "Oh yeah, Peter can do this, or you should do that, or should do that." And these people, they're nobodies. But when it's 1 week before a show, your head goes crazy and you would listen. You know what I mean? And then end up spoiling the plan. You know?
Yeah, strange that sometimes, you know, I don't understand how people can judge your training or your diet or your look or your shape. It's strange for me. It's like I wouldn't do that at all. If someone asks me about what is your opinion about the shape, about the diet, I can help. I can say something, but without a reason, just to criticize someone without the face or without the knowledge, it's strange for me, you know. you have to choose which you listen, which voice you listen.
Exactly.
So without giving away too much, Peter, what does Chris get you to do like the week before the show? Is there anything you didn't do before? Anything different?
We always check, the shape like 2-3 times a day. And after this meal, what's going on, what's happened, what do you feel? And, it's like from little blocks he makes step by step.
Steps, yeah.
So we try to keep the balance between the size and the shape. My problem was in the past that if I had the roundness, I lost the shape. So it was difficult to find the balance in between.
Yeah. It's hard to get that fullness, that muscle pop,
and the condition,
and get the detail. And I think that's what your problem was with classic because of that weight cap. You couldn't fill your physique out enough to come alive, and that was the problem, And
I think in the classic, the short guys, like as you've seen in the UK show, 3 of us didn't make the weight. So the short guys, difficult to go below, but the tall guys told me that I have 5 kilos more.
Yeah.
So it's like I think it's not the perfect like with 2 centimeters you can be 3 kilograms more or something like that. So it's like for me it's strange how it come. It's like, okay, I understand it's a rule, but maybe it can be a little bit more effective if they follow a little bit the athletes, because now it's like how many years we have already, 5, 6 in the classic Olympia, so we have some informations about it's working well or not, but that's just an opinion.
Yeah, I think to myself there shouldn't be no weight cap in the classic. I think it should be the criteria, classic physique. Just because you can do a vacuum pose doesn't mean you're classic. You know what I mean? Classic should mean everything. Your presentation, your look of the physique should be from the golden era, everything like that. The problem is too much now. You've got guys in classic who are not classic. That's the problem. And there needs to be a straight, clear criteria. What is classic and what isn't classic? And that's what we haven't got. And another problem you've got is they should measure you once you become a classic.
And that's it. Yeah.
And that's it. And that's what your weight limit should be all the time. Instead of having to measure you every time and say, you're taller now, you're shorter now, Because
you can be measured by different people and get different height measurements, can't you?
Yeah.
So you can press down on the ruler or whatever.
Yeah, like Simon uses a special ruler for his willy, so it looks good.
Any millimeters.
Yeah, so that's the problem. The measurements, you know what I mean? It's like, are they using the same measurement system, in America as UK as whatever, You don't know. And it's like, just because a guy's got spiky hair or got an afro, he can get extra 2 kilos on himself.
It's true, yeah. Maybe shave your head right down, Peter.
A classic competitor who had a fake afro dreadlocks on.
Yeah, that was Madelman. That was the Spanish guy side. He wore he's been bald for a few years, and he wore a Rastafarian hat.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It was crazy, but
he missed his weight class anyway, didn't he?
Yeah. He needed the hat back.
So Peter, are you competing this weekend, or is it your girlfriend only competing?
Yeah, both of us compete.
Peter can't help himself. Everywhere he goes, he has to compete. Don't you, Peter? Peter loves it.
So what's your plans now? So you got 6 weeks left for the Olympia, yes?
Yes.
So what's yours and Chris's goal for the Olympia then? What are your expectations?
Yeah, that's what my question. What expectations to crack?
What you with?
First of all, in the past year, I saw the Olympia, and I told myself, when I saw Derek won the 212, I think with the symmetry, because Sean was really, really ripped and full of muscle. For me, he was the first, but when they turned, it was like a balance, and Derek won the show. And I told myself maybe a little bit important the symmetry here as well. And but I was afraid to tell to Chris, because he told me that he cannot imagine me in the 2-1-2. You're a classic, original classic guy.
Yeah.
Which is in my heart. I'm always gonna be classic. Like for my athletes, I always say that the difference between like open and classic, in the open class, the body talks. In the classic, the soul talks. It's like a little bit different. Both is important and beautiful, but different. And I lost too much on the legs, so my focus till the Olympia is to get it back as much as possible, to have a better balance, because the guys here like around 10 centimeters shorter, but they are wider and they have a lot of muscle on it. So I try to have a better balance on my body, and hopefully I can get a good placing. We will see, because
well, Sean and Derek aren't in the 212 either. They're in the Open this year.
Yeah.
So you've got a good chance.
Sean's yet to announce if he's doing 212 or Open.
But you've got Kamal to compete with. You know, Kamal, very good condition, and you know who else is there? And you've got
Dean White. Dean's doing it.
Yeah,
you know Dean, don't you, Peter?
And you got Keon in it. Keon's doing it.
Keon Prodigy, yeah.
Yeah, like I said to you, as long as you bring that fullness back into your legs, and everything will balance out for you. Because of the problem what I saw from the classic was you was good from the upper body, then from your legs you lost the fullness. But if you can bring that fullness back in 212, you will look amazing. Because I thought to myself, the old Peter is coming back now, and that's where you need to be. You know what I mean? You have to work on your strong points.
It's probably less stressful as well, not having to make the weight class, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's that noise?
R2.
Your friend.
Quick question for you, Peter. I know you've been competing a long time as an amateur. I mean, I've been with you around the world. We went to China, didn't we? Went to Budapest. Romania. So what made you want to turn pro in the end? I know we had that conversation a few years ago, because you competed, you won every amateur show in the world. So what made you want to finally get your pro card?
Actually, first of all, everyone was really hate me in the amateur. So it was like if you go to the show and they smile, but you know when you turn, they will spit on the ground. So that was the bad feeling. The first of all, like, why you come here for the third time, fourth time? You know, they didn't like that. And I was like, you know, if you find yourself in a good position in a poker table, why you should leave? So it was like a good game for me. But
and you were obviously you're earning money as well every time you competed.
Yes, but I can tell you that COVID situation was harmed the amateur more than the pro league, you know, and that was one side, and the other side that I'm getting old, and I was trying to put like a top of a cake on my career. So everyone was wanted to see me on that stage, and I'm the same. You know, we grow up to watch these guys on the stage, and also I still respect the guys there. So it's like when we was in Dubai, I seen that Rami was like 1 week before he put a video about he did a leg press.
The
Panatta leg press machine, and it was like I was like a child that I can use the same machine, you know, like 25% of the weight, but it was a great feeling, you know.
Peter, was that your first time in Dubai? Was it?
The first time was, I don't know, like 6 years ago. Okay. It was a Dubai Stars competition.
So what was you there for last week? Or was it 2 weeks ago you were there? Was you there for the expo?
2 weeks ago. It was a competition, a Dubai Pro.
Oh, okay,
show.
Yeah. You didn't compete in that, did you?
What?
Did you?
I was compete, but it was like it was a mess because there was on the IFBB Pro League website, there was the date from 22, 23. So I bought the ticket to 21. And 2 days before my arrival, they was put on Instagram that the registration is at 21, 9 to 10 a.m. And my flight was 8 p.m. So I told them I can't be there at the registration. Is there any chance to register later or something? There was no answer. It was difficult to find out what's going on. But I was go there because my friends like Michael Double and other athletes was asking the head judge that is it possible, and he said okay, he can come. So I was go there, and I was arrive. I was asking them what is the time when I can do the registration and where. No answer. So the next day I was go to the competition. And there was a judge. He checked the weight with the camera. So the weight was okay. And I was asking the number. They said, oh, tomorrow. You will have it tomorrow. So I had 24 hours less time to load. And it was like, what if they say tomorrow, you don't have a number, you cannot compete or something? You know, it was like not a good start for a competition. Yeah. At the end, I had the 8th place. So it was a lesson.
Yeah, you know, that's why I think, you know, there's a big problem with communication sometimes, you know, when, like entering a show, having to, you know, fill in the application or...
Stressful, isn't it? It's stressful for a bodybuilder.
Yeah. Listen, like I've had the same issue where I want to do a show, you email them and say like, this is a show I want to do and everything. And you don't get an answer because they're in America, 24 hours difference. You know what I mean? It should be
I understand.
Yeah, you need to know like exactly what time you're competing.
Yeah.
It's less stress for you to...
Yeah, also the problem was they told me that the registration the time was like 1 month ago already decided. Only the place was the question. But I don't speak Arabian, and I didn't follow the Oxygen Instagram
Instagram
profile because I didn't know that every information go there. So it's like a kick in the ass, you know. But it's another lesson.
Peter, what did you think to Binous Gym then?
What?
What did you think to Binous Gym?
Binous Gym.
Incredible.
It's amazing to see. You can see how it grows. You know, it's like four big places.
Was it your first time there? Was it?
And they really love bodybuilding. They support the athletes. If you have a meal plan, they prepare it for you. So you don't need to do anything. Only train, relax.
Yeah. So was that your first time? Was that your first time Binous Gym?
In Binous Gym, it was my first time.
Yeah, it's the equipment.
And you can see the equipment how it's changed. You know, it's like.
Yeah,
also from the competition, there was 2 brands with some machines, and he bought like 70% of the machines, and the next day you saw the machines coming from the from the competition.
Zach, have you been to Binous Gym, Dubai?
No, I've never been there, but
you know, we need to arrange a trip over there.
You know, it looks amazing.
It's crazy. Did you see who did you see there, Peter? Which bodybuilders did you see? Did you see Big Ramy? Did you see Andrew Jacks? Did you see all the big names over there?
Yeah, and some of the new guns as well. So it's like a magnet now for bodybuilders, I think. But I know your gym as well, so you don't need to be ashamed of or something because you have a crazy equipment and crazy guys there.
Yeah. Well, I'm coming to the Olympia anyway, so it'd be good to see you. You're gonna go like a week before, or when do you plan to fly out?
A few days. I think like 4 days.
4 days
before the show.
Probably, yeah, I'm arriving on the Sunday night. Have you been to Flex's gym, Dragon's Lair?
I have to. I don't know how because like I need to put myself together. And if it takes like 1 day before the Olympia, I don't want to train 2 days before the Olympia because that's a stress as well for the body.
Exactly, yeah. What about how long you staying after? You're going to fly straight back to
Around 2021 something, because we want to celebrate the Christmas together with the family.
Okay.
But we was planning, the first plan was to stay in Las Vegas to see the new year there, how it looks like. But you know, it's like a long season for now, and we're waiting only for the Christmas time. You know, just relax, chill, enjoy the food, and that's
Olympia's
it.
going to be your last show of the year, I take it.
Yeah, of course, the biggest one.
Good.
I don't know the 212. How I cannot imagine myself where the judges put me. So it's for, even for me it will be a new level. So we will see.
Listen, if you come in like Chris tells you to come in, and you come in, so you'll do yourself proud. So just listen to Chris. He knows everything. So, and you know, like you said, all you have to do is be an autopilot and listen to what he says, your coach, and nobody else, and that's all you can do. Oh, yeah, you know.
Even like I'd made a mistake for 1 week, and he saw it on the pictures, and he was asking me, "Are you doing this the same way like we spoke about?" And it's like it was like crazy, you know. It's like you cannot make a mistake because he see it.
Exactly.
He have the eye for this. He have the knowledge for this.
Did he see the pictures from Dubai then? Did he? And what did he say about that? You got 8th place in Dubai. What went wrong? Do you think?
The basic stance from the front. They put me immediately to 8th place, and you have seen that the judges take care about the top 5 because they was, you know, the prizes was for the top 5. So they was really focused on the top 5, and the rest was like I was posing on the the left side, and that's it.
Nobody.
So I think in a smaller competition, it's more visible because they cannot put you out of their view. But that's why I'm a little bit afraid of the Olympia. If you're not in the top 10, you're out, and you don't have a chance to show yourself in other poses. My main my basic strength from the front is not. It's like a weak point a little bit for me. I look small in that position. When I start to hit the poses, the mandatory poses, I think I can be competitive. But if I don't have a chance to show myself in the top 10, then I'm out.
How many people have qualified, Joe, for the 212 Olympia?
He's 20 something.
I heard that the classic like almost 70 or 60.
Yeah, the classic's got 60 plus competitors, and the classic does.
They're qualified.
Yeah, yeah.
How can they do that?
Yeah,
it doesn't make
crazy.
sense.
No, it's strange.
Open Olympia's got 33.
Yeah,
That's gonna be a long weekend.
Very long.
But the problem is it's not fair on the other people because you got your favorites there. They're gonna get looked, and the other people are not gonna even get a look in. So you're just gonna be there as a background banner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I had this feeling. Yes, I know that.
Yeah, we've all had this feeling.
Quite disheartening, isn't it?
Yeah, because when you try so hard, I think you know what they should do. They should give everybody a chance. You know, being in the Olympia, like listen, let everybody pose with the top guys and see what people think. You know what I mean? It's because if you can't do your mandatory poses 5 or 6, 7, 8 times, then obviously you're not in shape. You know.
But going into the show, Peter, obviously you won the Prague show last week, and potentially you could win tomorrow. So you've got a lot of momentum going into the show. The judges have seen your victory. So I think you will be on the radar definitely for the 212. I think people will be looking out for you.
I have some like little goals in the sport because I see I'm out of the top 6. So I try to how to call that, it's like I don't have much time left in the sport because I'm already 10 years ahead from the top 6 in age, and I was too much into bodybuilding for like 20 years.
Look at Kamal. Kamal won the 212 at 50 years old, didn't he? 49, 50. So you're 38, 37, 38.
Yeah, but I have to start to build a family because I'm already 40.
Okay.
Can you imagine that your child gonna be 20 and you're gonna be 60? And in the school they're gonna ask, who's this old guy, your grandpa or something? You know, it's like
Just get a dog like Zach. 2 dogs.
Ask some dogs, you'll be fine. The thing is, it's like this. You having a kid now, you will have life experience and you'll have time for your kids. Unlike if you had kids when you were younger, all you would be doing is be working and you will hardly ever see your kids. And that's the problem a lot of people have got. It's like they have kids when they're young and you know what? They don't see the kids.
Yeah.
So,
yes, the most important to be there for teaching them what you already know. Yes, that's really
why-
important.
You've got the experience.
yeah, that's why grandparents there, when people send their kids to their grandparents' house, and grandparents want to spend more time with the kids, and they have more time, and the kids love their grandparents. You know, have that
And more patience.
Yeah, yes, exactly. You will have that life experience now.
So how many more years do you think you see yourself competing, Peter?
I think the next year will be around this to build a family, and if 1 year later everything is fine and the doctor says that you're already like a natural bodybuilder, you look perfect, your blood tap and everything, check and everything is okay, then maybe I give myself another chance.
Yeah, you realize if you are starting a family, you're gonna have to come off everything. It's hard.
But as a passive, for 1 year, I'm gonna be focusing on the legs for sure, like crazy.
Like what I would recommend to people, young kids nowadays, is like who are getting into bodybuilding, fucking freeze your sperm because you never know when you might need it.
Yeah.
Then you don't need to worry about having kids later on in life.
I've got mine frozen.
You know what I mean?
Have you thought about that, Peter?
I'm already late with that.
Oh, okay, you probably got nothing to freeze.
So
that's why you call it the freezer.
The freezer's gym.
Oh, one of my questions: why did people nickname you the freezer? Or why is that your nickname?
It was from my second coach when I was a kid. He was really into the bodybuilding and he taught me a lot. And I had a big change. And he told me that when you go to the backstage, you have to use a hoodie. They don't need to see your face, your skull face. You have to hide everything, because if they see you right before the stage and you break them, there is no way back. So in 5 minutes, they cannot put themselves together again. So we was trying to use this when I was like around 2022, and I was like a teenager category guy. And when I was in the backstage, the other athletes asked me, "Are you in the teenager category or open?" Yeah, I'm teenager, and they was left. You know, some of them left, some of them had a different face. Like my coach always told me, if you see guys making pictures with others and smiling, they're not gonna win. But in the corner, there is a guy with a hoodie on the head, and you just see like that's the nose and the face, and more than enough to see that he's gonna win the show. No talk, he just breathe, he just try to survive. So that was like a tactic, and and when I did my first individual posing routine, I was preparing for 2 months, and there was no applaud. I was like, I came down from the stage and I didn't understand. It was that bad or something. Why the people not applauded? And my trainer asked me, "Have you seen the faces?" And no, the lights was too strong. I didn't saw anything. They was like this. And that's why they gave me the freezer name.
Oh, okay, it's a good story, that is.
It's
when I got on stage, they just booed me off.
They weren't the biggest fans of Roxette, that's all, Si. I had a few questions come in from some of the listeners. What's your favourite look you've had on stage so far, Peter? Amateur or pro?
I think in amateur, I was at my best in South Korea, when I was fighting with
Sean Tavernier. Was it Sean?
yes. And that was the only time I was able to beat him. After that, he was kicked me in the ass like 2-3 times. I don't remember.
Yeah, you came in
Is that,
shredded.
is that
for
when you
show,
had
didn't
the shaved head as well?
What?
Was that when you had the shaved head?
Yes,
And you
yeah.
super
And
shredded.
also
Yeah.
in Vavan Classic, I
Yeah,
had
the wild one, yeah,
I had a good condition. But you know, I started to lose the hair. You saw that you have much less hair when it came back. So I told myself, okay, it's good, but not for the body.
How do you cope with traveling so much, Peter, and sort of trying to peak? Obviously, you travel. I mean, when you travel to China. Next 2 days later, you're in UK. How do you sort of manage to travel?
Yeah, there was some funny stories about this.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
remember
like
cooking for you when you came to UK, preparing all your food. Do you remember? Cooking your
when I
big-
came to you, yeah, there was 4 shows in 4 different countries in 1 week.
Wow.
I started with UK, and the next day it was Italy. 2 days later, Portugal, and then my own countries.
Remember, you were sitting in my gym. You were eating like was it lettuce you were eating or cabbage? You were eating raw cabbage. That's what it was eating. Was that right? You were eating raw cabbage.
Yeah, it had water and fibers. But there was like one run. There was a show in Austria, and the organizer asked me, "Do you want to protect your title?" And I told him that it would be great, but in Sunday I have a competition in South Korea, so it's not possible. But he told me we can change the categories, so they was put my category 4 hours earlier.
Yeah.
And we found the flight. So I was on the stage, I was protected my title, and then when I came down, medal, trophy, I gave to a friend, and I was run with there was a taxi waiting for me, and I was run to the airport, and I just washed my head because that was like you remember this Dream Tan?
Yeah, so you kept the tan, yeah.
Yeah, it was easy to wash, but all the clothes look like a dirty kid, you know.
Yeah.
So I tried to wash my hand like this and the face to able to fly 10 hours. And my friend just called me that, how did you do that? You like teleported from Europe to South Korea in the 2 days, 2 competitions in the other side of the world. It was like people ask me how you do it, and if in the everyday life, if you put yourself in a situation like you're in the shithole, and after a long time you're gonna call it home. So for me, the traveling and the competitions was like a holiday. That's why there was people ask me that the others looks like they're gonna die on stage, and you're happy with that because I don't need to train, I don't need to suffer.
How do you manage with like the food and like obviously the water retention? Because you know when you go to a new country, like obviously you have to get fresh food. So how do you manage?
Relaxing music. If you're tired enough, when you arrive on the plane, you just put the seatbelt and immediately fall down and sleep. So this is my advice. The food is a problem because sometimes there was like 30 hours for reach one place to another, and your food gonna be destroyed for sure. And I was just made a picture from my friends that I have some rice cakes and some celery and nothing else, you know. And you're sitting in the front of the Burger King for like 18 hours or 10 hours just waiting, and you have this and you watch people eating everything and you have the smell. It's like tough.
I couldn't. Could you do that, Zach? Like compete?
Not
to that extent.
In that close time frame, you know, especially like when you know that your food is gonna, you know, your meals are not going to plan, and you know, because it's like when you're doing one show, you got everything planned, and you know what time the flight is, you know how much food to bring with you, and like with you, like you don't know when you're gonna eat next meal. So I gotta take my hat off to you, man. Respect. You know, and winning the shows and bringing in that condition, what you did for them shows to win, Amazing, you know, amazing, brother.
Peter, on the top of your head, can you remember how many shows you've done in total since you competed? Started?
I never calculated that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the problem is in some countries they throw your food.
Yeah.
They say you cannot bring in the food, and that's also really stupid. And they say you can buy anything in the airport, but I can't.
No.
And yeah, it's strange. Like in US, they throw my beef, but they didn't throw my girlfriend's fish. They said fish okay, beef not okay.
Wow.
What? You know, it's like, what is that? Stupid rules, but you have to follow.
They probably fish,
I think I have like I won in the amateur like over 100 shows, and it was like 80% because I was focusing on the big shows, and the rest was like you go there as a lucky strike. They can beat you if someone comes with 100%, but if not, you can have a check, bring home. So it was like 80% in the amateur. The pro league is tough because every show you can see minimum 3-4 guys who really try to win the show. So they bring everything on that show because they just need the qualification for the Olympia. If they have it, they can have a rest for the Olympia.
So will you be resting now to the Olympia? Or are you going to have a few weeks? Obviously, you're competing this weekend. Will you have a few weeks off? And it's so close, isn't it? So you can't really have too much off. So how will you structure the next 6 weeks?
I need to organize. I need some. Told myself which machines I need because I had some knee problems, but now it's better because I started to stretch. Never did it before, and massage and cold water. And now it seems better. Also, I bought a machine which is like a magnetic stuff. It helps you to open the veins, the small ones, to have oxygen in the whole body.
Recovery.
I try to do the regeneration part as much as I can. And in the gym, I need some special machines which protects the knee and a little bit more effective on the glutes and the hips, because the hips is stronger than the knees. So when I finish this, I'm running home and I try to organize to get the machines as fast as possible.
What brands are you buying them for? You mean like gym equipment, like or
recovery equipment? Recovery. It's recovery.
Yeah.
For me, the number one equipment now is Prime.
Oh, Prime.
But it's really tough to get.
It's like expensive as well, isn't it? I know you dropped.
It's okay, but 11 months. You have to wait 11 months to have it. It's crazy.
Have you tried? Did you try the Prime stuff in Binous Gym?
I didn't saw Prime there. I used the back machine Prime, but there was not so many. There was a lot of Panatta. Panatta is also now. They have some machines which is, I can say that the best in their line in the world, but you can't bring a 100% whole package from Panatta. No. But they have some really special machines, and I try to catch that, like the leg press machine.
It's heavy, isn't it, the leg press?
It's heavy. It was. I just started to put the weights, as you remember how much you use, and it was like when it came down, it was like, holy shit.
It's a vertical leg press, isn't it?
Vertical, yeah. It was like the first expression was holy cow. And what's your favorite as a gym owner?
Gym favorite Primes. I do like Prime, but I think I like the Atlantis stuff. I do.
I like that you can change which is the part of when you get the full weight what you use, because like for a back training, you're strong at the start but you're weak at the end, and you cannot finish it completely. That's the biggest problem, and it's good that you can play with that.
Yeah.
Also, if you have an injury, you can play with. If your shoulder have an injury, you can use a different angle on one side and the other, and it's good.
I like the
Smart
old school
machine.
stuff. I like the old Cybex. I mean, Joe. I mean,
Okay,
Cybex
okay,
Hexploits,
Cybex.
the original Cybex stuff. I think that's still
The
great
movement
stuff.
of Cybex and the old hammer for me are the best. Also, I love Atlantis as well because they try to focus on the body, not on the design. So it's also have a really good equipment. I try to have the best, what in my knowledge. But as in Binous Gym or in your gym, you always find some new things. So it's like I'm always making pictures which machines I need. And I try to figure it out. How can I put in the gym? How much I need to expand? Because I still have 1,000 square meters to grow.
Oh yes,
Also,
step by step.
So Peter, where's your gym? What country are you living in at the moment?
We live in Budapest, Hungary.
Okay.
It's in the heart of Europe, a little country. They always think that we're hungry, because
how long have you had your gym for then? How long have you had your gym?
6 years.
Is it going good? Everything
when I won the Waban Classic, I had the start. I had enough.
You pay for the equipment with your check.
Yeah, almost.
Nice little paycheck.
Yeah.
So let's go back to what's your favorite era, Peter? Bodybuilding era? Is it the 90s, 80s? Which inspires you?
I think for me the biggest fight was when I see 98 Ronnie and Flex.
Yeah.
I never had a picture about the audience, but my friend told.
I was there in New York that year.
Crazy. I think there was the audience was eating the building or something, because there are some countries like UK, the Czech Republic, and my own country where people love bodybuilding and they support it. When you have a show, it's like 80% full, and they give a noise, and you have an atmosphere there. And I can't imagine how was it in '98 when they really had that crazy fight.
Yeah, because obviously going into the Olympia that year, Dorian had retired and people had their eyes on Flex to win, didn't they? Because Flex had come second. Flex had won, I think, the runner-up the year before, I think. I'm not sure. But he was the favourite to win, him and Nasser. So no one saw Ronnie on the radar, did they? So when Ronnie came on stage and he turned to the back, it was all game over. Everyone knew he'd won. Yeah, you'd had to.
I remember that Flex was hiding the glutes with the posing trunk.
Ronnie pulled his trunks up, didn't he? Because if you had all the striated glutes.
But it's like not really eras, but characters.
Characters, yeah.
Like you can see always someone who is inspiring or like have a special posing routine, like Labrada, or you can say like hundreds. Also Marvin Anthony.
I mean, you're a good poser, Peter. Is there anyone you sort of took inspiration from for your posing routines? For
me, Terence now is like already a legend. He have his own style. He's like an artist, really.
No one from the past, like from the 80s or 90s.
You feel that it's something different. You cannot catch why, but how he moved between two poses, it's like he have more attention in that than the main pose, and it helps him to like. I was watching many shows, and sometimes it's getting boring, when you don't have that big fight or the guys are posing on a music, but there is a music, there is a posing, and it's not together, not moving together, not flowing together. And sometimes it's a little bit boring because you feel that this athlete was prepared his body but didn't prepare for the show. And when you see one athlete well prepared for the posing routine, is like you go home and you say to your friend that it was worth to come to this show and watch it, because this guy was fantastic. In 2 minutes or 3 minutes, he gave you that connection, and it was more than enough to say that it was a good night, good evening.
Some people have a routine, don't they, on stage, and some people give the full performance, and you always remember the performance.
Even in the junior category, sometimes, like, you see guys, they are really into this, and hopefully they're gonna grow as well, and they can show it with their with their prime. We will see, but this sport have different levels, I think, and when you see a guy like Terence, you can say that it's the top level of this sport. He completely balanced with the body, the mind, and it's like a complete package.
Yeah, correct.
Who's your favorite physique of all time, Peter?
Flex Wheeler.
Flex.
For me, he's like from another planet or something. I don't understand how can he's so flexible, so muscular.
What was your favorite look then? What year was your favorite look? Because obviously Flex didn't come in light, because he's coming heavy, full. What was your favorite look?
I liked it when he tried to catch Ronnie with the size. I didn't saw that was a problem for him. He was growing well, and it was good for his overall look as well. So for me, he was, when he was fighting with Ronnie, they was push each other together. So both of them made their best. It's good to see that.
Zach, did you ever go to the Grand Prix when Ronnie and Flex were competing?
Yeah, I went to that one, the 1999 one. The greatest show.
The lighting on that stage was
fucking amazing. And you know, Flex, you look crazy there, man. Everybody looked crazy.
Yeah. Kevin was there, wasn't he?
You saw Flex come on, you go, oh my god. You saw Kevin come on, you go, oh my god. See Ronnie come on, you like, fucking hell. Like, everybody just looked fucking amazing, you know what I mean? And to be there and witness it was a total difference.
Milos, Nasser, it was the top 10 was like crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Nasser had a few years when he was like crazy. He was like a whole building on the stage.
Who's that?
Nasser.
Oh, Nasser.
Nasser.
Yeah, it was sad what happened to him. He slowly, after 99, 2000, his placing started going down, because obviously the synthol in his oil, so he started looking worse than he. I think he peaked in 97, wasn't it? It was the best. He got a second when he came second to Dorian, 97.
Yeah, 97.
Yeah.
What about you, Zach? Who's your favorite bodybuilder of all time?
I haven't got a favorite bodybuilder all the time. Like, I like different bodybuilders for different things. You know what I mean? It's like, for me, the 90s era, you could choose any bodybuilder in the top 10, and I would say he's got amazing physique. Whether it's Dorian, whether it's Flex, whether it's Sean, whether it's Kevin, whether it's, you know what I mean, Charles Clermont, you know what I mean, Melvin, whatever, you know what I mean? There's so many people in that top 10 you can look at and you say, oh my God, he looks amazing. He looks amazing. You know what I mean? Vince Taylor, for his posing routine. He was the first time I saw somebody who posed to the robot, and I was like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like Peter says, it's that entertainment value, what they bring to the audience. Like, you will always remember a good physique, and somebody who's got a good physique and stomps around and poses, get away with it. But not everybody can get away with that. Then you got people who've got a good physique, they can pose, and you can remember that, you know. And that's the thing. So, like, you know, for bodybuilding, you know, it's what you take away from it. You know what I mean? Some people will take away a great posing routine. Some people will take away a great physique, a mass monster like Ronnie Coleman or Dorian Yates. You know what I mean?
Peter, I know, like, you're a 212 competitor now, and sort of you're going into the Olympia. But when you see these old school bodybuilders like Flex, Sean, Do you still like see them as like role models, or do you see them? Are you still a fan of them physiques, or do you see them as like it's normal people now?
No, never normal, never normal. It's like Sean Ray have also a beautiful posing routine for me. Like sometimes before I go to the gym, you know, you need some motivation, and people watching motivation videos for get some adrenaline and some motivation. But I'm watching posing routines because you can see the small details, and I start to analyze it. How can he have this type of like quads? What machines he used? Why? Where was the top of the machine? You know, like I try to follow something which my weakness to build it on the proper level of the best ones.
Yeah.
So it's like a never-ending story, and it's just not changing anything. You know, it's even in my own country. Sometimes there are young guys. I try to help them, but they have like a big mouth, and they say on the internet now that I'm old, and now their squat is like their warm up is my squat, blah blah blah. And it's strange for me because I don't see the champion factor in them because of that. And I already see that they're gonna fail because they have too much ego and no respect, and they're not ready to learn because they think that they already have every knowledge and they're great. And I think it's like when I was able to win this show in Saturday. In Sunday, other athletes was asking me, "What is the time when you go home?" And I said, "I'm already in the gym and pushing the legs." So it's like if you win, you have to try to be one step forward than the others, and if you lose, you have to build yourself. So you have to leave the gym last, and you have to be there first.
Yeah, I get you.
But the people, the young generation, have no respect for the generation before. And that's really strange for me because for me, everyone is the same. Like 10 years before, it's like difficult to say hi to Sean Ray or Flex Wheeler because it's like they are stars, you know. They're not just regular people. So it's like I don't want to disturb them. I wait if they talk with someone to finish it. There was like a show in Dubai, an expo, and I was wanted to have from Rami a signed picture for my gym. And he saw me in the line, and he told me, "Come, Peter, come here." I said, "No, I'm waiting because I'm not a jerk to go like before everyone, you know. I just wait my time." And he came out, and he was bringing me into.
That's good.
So it's like I think if you are nobody, you have to respect others. But if you are somebody, you have to do the same.
No, but the problem you've got nowadays is, Peter, is this young generation. They think they're somebody because of likes on Instagram. They think they're pop. So, you know, if you're Instagram active, social media active, and you're building up a profile, listen, there's so many people that they do one show and they become coaches, and they've got like 100,000 followers. Like, who are they? You know what I mean? Nobody. But that's the society we're living within now. We're living in a society where you can fake it until you make it. So on Instagram and social media, you can fake it until you make it, because nobody is going to know whether you're the real deal or not. And, you know, them days are gone. People can filter their pictures. People can make out they do this. People can use fake weights, everything. And they can make out they're superstars on Instagram.
And you don't even have to win a show now. You don't have to compete to sort of be a guru now.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, we are old school. We have respect for our, you know, for the past champions and competitors and everybody. You know what I mean? We wouldn't, you know, social media has made it easy for people to talk shit about each other. You know, most of these people would not say to your face the half of the stuff what they type. You know what I mean? But this is the society we live in, Peter. Now that's the thing.
So Peter, has your training changed over the years? I mean, you know, you see on Instagram now, with YouTube, so much new training techniques. Is your training the same, or have you adopted any of these new training techniques, methods?
As you get old, you learn. You know, in the beginning, you're not listening to anyone. You just love to train, and you believe that it's okay. If they say just relax, because there will be a time comes when it's not going to be that easy. But while you're young, you don't believe that. Now I understand what they spoke about, and you know, it's if you follow the old style, when you like fighting with each other, with your training partner, not helping each other, it's like the check engine immediately come to show you that something wrong, you know, and you have to push the brakes a little bit. So
you have to adapt your training as you get older, I suppose.
I realized that my body is not available to use that heavy weights because of the small joints, and it's like your knees or elbows start to shaking, and you're not in control of the movement. So I tried to learn techniques which have the same muscle failure without big weights.
Would you use more machines now than less free weights?
Yeah, so of course. It's also a little bit more safe for me.
Safe, yeah.
And more focused on the target muscle, not
balanced muscle, trying to. Yeah. What about you, Zach? Do you use less free weights now, or did you still use free weights?
No, I go through periods of times, you know, through my training split where I use free weights, I use machines. But when I'm using free weights, like I want to be control of the weight. You know, like you said, you got to be in control of the movement, everything. Like, you know, I think it's like, you know, even if you can't do squats and your knees hurt, I would say just use the bar on its own and just do squats just with the bar. Because what you get from free weights, you will not get that from machines. You know what I mean? So it's good to do free weights, but don't be stupid and don't think you can do heavy weights on free weights anymore. So use lighter weight where you can control yourself and be control of that movement. And if you do it that way, trust me, it's like even squatting one plate aside and you do like 5 sets of 10, your legs are gonna hurt more than doing leg press, you know, 10 plates aside. Simple, you know what I mean? It's like as long as you know how to control and your mind and muscle connection, you know? And that's
but the machines nowadays, they're so sort of well developed that you don't really have to use free weights. And you know, you find a good gym, like my gym's well equipped. A lot of people hardly ever use free weights, don't they, Joe? Don't you think? People prefer using machines.
It's mainly the machines that get used, but I do think, even though I've not been in the sport anywhere near as long as anyone here, you know, I do think free weights build a different type of physique. You know, it's more rugged, it's more dense. Yeah. One thing I did want to ask Peter, because obviously spending your majority of your pro career in the classic division, do you, and throughout the whole of your career, when you're training, do you train with the beauty in mind? Do you try just to perfect certain muscle groups, or do you train, you know, with all out intentions of putting as much muscle on as possible?
I'm that type of guy who loves to leave the gym with the feeling that not everyone does what you do. So it's like more about the training.
Yeah.
The stage have the classic self, but in the gym I try to be my best to have this feeling that not everyone leave the gym like this, you know, like with 4 legs.
Yeah, I've trained a few times with Peter, haven't I? Peter likes doing his you like doing like giant sets, don't you? I remember doing supersets, giant sets. Do you remember, like, you do one exercise then straight to another exercise?
Or like Milos.
Yeah, a bit like Milos. Remember we trained a few times, Peter, me, you and Dean.
Oh, Milos is crazy. If you see the guys, they're crying, they're shaking so hard that
me and Zach will train with
Milos. This is the feeling what you don't want to reach, but you in deep in yourself, you know that this is what means growing. So it's like in everyday life, if someone doing like this, I can give a handshake to him. But maybe one time in a month for like 3 weeks normal, 1 week killer is okay. But to kill yourself every day is like, whoa.
It's too much, isn't it?
And a little bit of ego as well, I think. So you need to use weights which give you the feeling that you still have place in the gym. It's like guys told me that when I was preparing this year for Arnold Classic, that's enough for you. Don't go higher, because I was training with guys like 27, 25 years old, and you know, they are different than me. They are stronger, and the regeneration level is really fast. So I was like going after them like a dog, you know. They was putting in the machines, and they was trying to protect me, that like you know, you don't need to do this. But I told them, look, maybe this is the last time in my life I can use this weight. So even if I'm gonna have an injury, I want to feel this one more time. That's it.
So Peter, say you finish competing next year, obviously this is your last year. What have you got plans? Are you going to concentrate on the gym? And what are you got any future plans within the sport?
Actually, I'm planning to make a little franchise of my gym in my country, because
it's called the Freezer Gym, isn't it?
Yeah. It's I try to focus on like you, on the quality of the gym. Like, I see that 90% of the gyms are like business, and you have the smell of business. If you enter the gym, you don't have the atmosphere. The guys not really passionate. When we had this COVID situation, it was really. I was really happy to see that everyone turned into athletes as well, just because of the law, and the gym was full. You know, other gyms was completely empty, because the people who did this because they want to look good, they're never going to look good, because they don't understand the main source of the sport. You need to learn to enjoy the sweat, the training, if it hurts, if it brings you a better man. They just want to look good, and that's so stupid, and they're never going to have it. But if you have the passion to enjoy the training, as a side effect, you're going to look good. And that's what most of the people don't understand.
Yeah, you're
right. It's lifting for the wrong reasons, isn't it? So it's going to the gym for the wrong reasons. I started to improve my physique and my mentality and other areas of my life, and putting some positive energy into training has a good effect everywhere else. Yes. Whereas I think some people just train because they see somebody that looks good and they want to achieve that, which is fine as well. But it's just different people, I guess.
Peter, but you see on their face that they don't like to be there. They just wait it have to be, and they have the best clothes, but they're not sweating. They like 80-90% of the people just not growing. After 1 year, they look the same. They use the same weight, and they don't understand what's going on. They say, okay, because the others use medicines. They don't see the weakness of their own.
I wonder how many people would train if there was no Instagram or
a lot less.
Exactly.
Hell of a lot less.
It's a quick one. We're talking about COVID. I remember, I just want to say a big thank you, because do you remember when I was ill, they put together like a big book, and I don't know if you can see that. You wrote this nice message for me when I was in hospital. You remember that?
Of course. That was when I heard that, I was shocked. How is that possible to happen? Because I told myself this COVID is for the weak, you know, because we train ourselves, we eat clean, we take care about our heels. It's like it kills people who just don't care about their heels, you know, because it's easy today. I'm too old to see the alphabet.
I just want to say thank you for that message, because it was nice to see.
But they said it also could be genetic. So when I heard that it happened with you, it was like, you know, before that I remember I was in China when the whole thing was started, and we was laugh about this. Maybe we had it already, and I had a tough leg training. After that, I was walking with the dog, and I had the feeling that I'm gonna fall forward with the face touch the
ground.
concrete, And I told myself, what the fuck? I did. It was just a good training. Wake yourself up. Come on. And that was okay. And then I walked towards, and then we had the test, and they said you had this COVID stuff, and okay, that's it. So when I heard that it happened this way with you, I was like, I started to feel myself it could happen.
Yeah, a bit paranoid.
So it was like a shock that you take life like a game, and then you realize no, there is some serious things here. And I think many of our friends just passed away because of this. It was another stress for the body, and we already playing with our limits. So it's like,
yeah, it does make you think going forward. Anyway, Peter, this is one hour into the podcast. We're going to let you crack on. Obviously, you need to eat and get rest for the weekend. It's a big weekend for you.
Good
Just
luck.
to eat more cabbage.
Yeah, enjoy your cabbage. Thank you very much for coming on to the
I
podcast.
Me thank you guys.
You competing Saturday or Sunday?
Of course.
You compete this weekend, yeah. Okay.
At Sunday, my category is before the Open.
Who's your competition? Who's your competition going to the show? Is any big names competing? Do you know any competitors?
It's difficult to. Radoslav Angelov.
We saw him in the UK. He was very, very good as well.
Yes, and he was in Dubai as well. He was really good. He had 6th place in Dubai. He was before me in 2 shows. So if you look at the paper, he's gonna win the show, I think. But I try my best.
But you've already qualified, so it's less pressure on you anyway, because you've already qualified now.
Yes, of course, and we're friends now. So we had two competitions. We know each other, and I really don't want to harm this. It's just you have the competitive feeling in you. That's it. To try to make this on your side good. But I don't want to take his qualification. So it's like a funny thing. I don't.
Friendly rivalry.
I'm not like this, I just want to enjoy the show.
Yeah. Okay, Peter. Well, good luck for this weekend. And obviously,
also there is a Spanish guy who was in the EVLS as well. I don't even try to say his name because I'm not speaking Spanish as well.
You know who it is? Joe's our sort of.
But his posing routine you have to see, because he's holding the poses really tough. You can see that even like before he leaves the pose, even in that time, you can see some details popping up on the legs or the back, and he opens the poses with a small movement, with the hand, like. And it's also really impressive for me to see in 2-on-2 that someone take care about the posing that way.
We'll keep our eye out for him, yeah. Joe, find out who it is.
I will do.
Yeah, Peter, thank you very much, and good luck for this weekend, and good luck for the rest of your prep. I will see you in Vegas. Let's catch up in Vegas. And after the show, I'll take you out for a burger. Or some lettuce.
Thank you so much, guys, for your time. It was Zach. I don't even remember. Like 5 years ago, we talked.
Yeah. It's been a while, brother. So you know what I mean. I'm so happy for you. You're at the Olympia again, and I want you to kick some ass and bring in that freak factor like you always do. Okay, brother. Good luck.
We'll do.
Yep. All the best. See you in Vegas.
All the best.
Everyone.
See you guys.
Yep. Thanks, Zach. Thanks, Joe. Cheers.
See you later. Pleasure to meet you, Peter.